Prime Field.
Welcome to Prime Field basketball fans. Today we're diving into one of the more interesting recruiting situations in women's college basketball, why talented guard Gianna Kneepkens ultimately couldn't join the University of Connecticut Huskies program. The University of Connecticut women's basketball program, under legendary coach Geno Auriemma, has long been a destination for elite talent. Their championship pedigree and development of professional players make them a dream school for many young athletes. But sometimes, even the most natural-seeming fits don't materialize. Gianna Kneepkens emerged as one of the most exciting guards in the transfer portal, showcasing impressive shooting ability and court vision that had many programs eager to add her to their roster. Her basketball IQ and scoring touch seemed like they would be perfect for Connecticut's system. Yet despite the mutual interest that many analysts speculated existed, Kneepkens would not end up wearing the iconic Huskies blue and white. Today we're examining the basketball dynamics and roster construction that led to this outcome. We'll look at Connecticut's current guard situation, their development philosophy, and how these factors influenced this recruiting scenario. The story reveals much about how even the most prestigious programs must make calculated decisions about roster balance and player development. So let's break down why this seemingly perfect match didn't come together on the court. The primary factor preventing Gianna Kneepkens from joining Connecticut was the Huskies' existing depth at the guard position. Connecticut wasn't lacking talented players in the backcourt. Quite the opposite. Connecticut's roster features several established upperclassmen guards who have already proven themselves at the highest levels of college basketball. Most notably, the Huskies have Azzi Fudd, a former #1 recruit whose combination of shooting and playmaking ability makes her one of the most dangerous offensive weapons in women's college basketball when healthy. Besides Fudd, Connecticut also has Caroline Ducharme, whose versatility and defensive prowess have made her an invaluable piece of the Huskies' rotation. Both players have devoted years to developing within Auriemma's system, learning the intricate offensive sets and defensive principles that make Connecticut so formidable. This depth creates a fascinating basketball dilemma. While adding talent is typically seen as a positive, basketball remains a game where only 5 players can be on the court at once. Minutes are a finite resource, and Connecticut's coaching staff had to consider how adding another high-level guard would affect playing time distribution. The basketball reality is that players need consistent minutes to develop and showcase their abilities. Bringing in Kneepkens would have created a logjam at the guard position, potentially stunting the growth of players who have already invested significant time in the program. For upperclassmen looking to maximize their final collegiate seasons and perhaps improve their professional prospects, guaranteed playing time becomes even more crucial. In this case, roster construction wasn't simply about collecting the most talent, but about creating the most balanced and cohesive unit that could compete for a national championship. Connecticut's approach to player development represents another crucial aspect of this situation. Under Coach Auriemma, the Huskies have established a clear philosophy. They invest heavily in player development and prioritize the growth of athletes already in their program. The Connecticut coaching staff has consistently demonstrated their commitment to developing players over multiple seasons. They prefer to work with athletes through their 4 years of eligibility, helping them master the system and grow into leadership roles. This approach has yielded tremendous success throughout Auriemma's tenure, producing numerous All-Americans and professional players. When evaluating whether to pursue Kneepkens, the coaching staff likely considered how her addition would impact their existing development plans. Connecticut had already invested significant time and resources into developing guards like Fudd and Ducharme, designing offensive schemes that maximize their specific strengths and skills. Basketball development isn't just about individual skill work. It's about creating chemistry and cohesion within a team framework. Players need to understand their teammates' tendencies, develop intuitive connections on the court, and establish clear roles. Adding a new high-usage player might have disrupted this delicate ecosystem. The Connecticut staff likely concluded that continuing to invest in their current players' development would yield better results than integrating a new guard, regardless of her talent level. This speaks to the program's long-term vision and their confidence in the players they've already brought into the fold. This development-focused approach illustrates an important principle in basketball program building. Sometimes the best recruiting decision is to stand pat and trust the players and processes already in place. Looking deeper at Connecticut's team's strategy reveals additional factors that influenced the Kneepkens situation. The Huskies coaching staff had to carefully consider how any roster addition would fit into their existing tactical approach. Connecticut has traditionally played a style that emphasizes ball movement, player movement, and disciplined execution. Their offensive sets require guards who can make quick decisions, shoot efficiently from the perimeter, and create for others. Defensively, they demand guards who can apply pressure and execute complex rotations. While Kneepkens possesses many of these skills, the question wasn't whether she could play the Connecticut style. It was whether adding her would address the team's most pressing needs. Basketball roster. Construction requires prioritizing certain positions and skill sets based on current strengths and weaknesses. Connecticut's assessment likely concluded that guard play wasn't their most significant area of need. The consensus among basketball analysts following the program was that the Huskies' existing guard rotation could already compete at an elite level. Adding Kneepkens would have been a luxury rather than addressing a critical weakness. In basketball terms, this represents opportunity cost. Every roster spot and every minute of playing time devoted to one player means less opportunity for another. The coaching staff had to weigh whether Kneepkens would provide significantly more value than their existing options. This strategic evaluation demonstrates the complex calculus that goes into basketball recruiting decisions, especially for programs operating at the highest level. Connecticut's choice wasn't a reflection on Kneepkens' talent, but rather on the specific competitive context of their program at this moment in time. The decision regarding Gianna Kneepkens reflects Connecticut's confidence in their current roster construction and long-term program direction. But what does this mean for both parties moving forward? For Connecticut, maintaining their current guard rotation allows them to continue developing chemistry and cohesion. Players like Fudd and Ducharme will have the opportunity to take on larger roles and potentially blossom into the next generation of Connecticut stars. This approach aligns with the program's historical success in developing players over multiple seasons. Basketball programs must constantly balance immediate competitive needs with long-term development goals. In this case, Connecticut prioritized continuity and internal development over adding external talent, regardless of how impressive that talent might be. This speaks to their confidence in the foundation they've already built. For Kneepkens, this situation illustrates the importance of finding the right basketball fit beyond just program prestige. Playing time, system compatibility, and development opportunities are crucial factors for any player looking to maximize their potential. While Connecticut has an unmatched championship pedigree, the basketball reality is that the best program on paper isn't always the best program for every player. This scenario provides valuable insight into how elite basketball programs operate. Recruiting isn't simply about collecting the most talented players. It's about building cohesive units, developing existing talent, and making strategic choices that align with program philosophy and competitive goals. As basketball fans and analysts, situations like these remind us that roster construction is as much art as science. Programs must navigate complex decisions about talent, fit, development, and strategy. Connecticut's approach to the Kneepkens situation reflects their particular basketball vision, one that has yielded tremendous success over decades. Understanding these dynamics gives us deeper insight into the game we love and the thoughtful decision-making that shapes basketball programs at the highest level. Thank you for joining us on Prime Field for this analysis. Until next time, keep your eyes on the court.
Prime Field.